Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hey guys, I've got a really busy day ahead of me. I've got to spend $400 on this YouTube channel this afternoon yet again for LED strip lights, and I'm thinking about buying a huge Dumbo for my Stuffy collection this afternoon. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening on this YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to each and every person who ever believed in me, who never quit on me, because without you, I don't know where I would be. Sharing my opinion with the passion we all love about Descendants and Zombies has been an honor and a privilege of mine that I will never ever forget, because when I had nobody, you guys never quit on me. So I want to make this YouTube channel, this whole experience for you, a more enjoyable experience than probably you've ever seen from any other creator on YouTube. And I want to do that from my heart to yours as I say simply thank you for blowing this YouTube channel up, for sharing this content with the ones that you love, your friends, your family, and allowing me to be the voice of Disney and the voice of Descendants and Zombies for the better part of the last decade. It has been an honor. There is no better niche that I would rather fall into over and over again in this lifetime than the niche of Descendants and Zombies. A niche that has represented kindness, a niche that has taught us to be better people, a niche that has taught us to spread kindness to whoever needed it in life. And that's ultimately what I wanted to achieve with this YouTube channel, was a message of kindness that would inspire people to either create their YouTube channel, to create something special, or just to be kinder to people, because that's ultimately what I wanted to achieve. You know, I knew what it was like growing up, being bullied, being locked in lockers, being tripped up in hallways. It wasn't fun. So I wanted to create a YouTube channel, more especially after I saw Descendants and Zombies and this unbelievable impact it's had on all of our lives. And I know that I will never forget the impact and the imprint that Descendants and Zombies has made on my life. I am really excited about Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, because it's been a couple of years since we've seen a Zombies movie drop for the franchise. We're going to be seeing new cast members making the premiere in the franchise. Why is this happening, you may wonder and may ask? It's happening to secure the future of the Zombies franchise as a whole, and I couldn't be more proud that it's happening in 2025. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see what kind of direction this will take the franchise in. I am feeling really depressed, though, that I'm not going to be a vampire slayer in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. Who knows? Maybe by Zombies 5. Now, I know I've heard the critics about how they're saying that we're running out of supernatural creatures to expand the Zombies franchise off of. Not much of a plot could be unfolded by the time we get to Zombies 5. A lot of people saying they need to stop making zombies movies. I don't concur with that statement. I don't want to believe it, and I want to encourage you to believe that there is a chance that we could see Zombies 5. We could get to that point. I'm saying that because I will shoot Zombies 5 out of my backyard if I have to. I will take the Zombies cast to various locations here in Newfoundland, the most beautiful scenery ever on this island, and we will shoot a movie where the zombie apocalypse happens on an island which there is no way off of, because literally there is no way off of this island. There are 3 ways off of this island, and all 3 ways you can die immensely. You can crash a car, you can crash a plane, or you can sink a boat. So we're really screwed. And to make matters worse, we can shoot it in front of an actual soda plantation where a lime soda plantation explosion actually happens. We'll get a bunch of lime soda trucks. I will hire them. I will pay them off. We will shoot scenes in front of this soda plantation, and we will stage a huge explosion on this island. And we'll do the whole Jurassic Park thing. We'll do something, because I believe in this franchise just as much as each and every one of you. Because of each and every one of you, you may not realize this, but I have actually contemplated training for the NFL and doing the whole rigorous training regime. Because of you guys. I'm thinking about starting to jog. I'm thinking about starting to lift weights, which is something I haven't done in years. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever done it in my life. But I would do it for each and every one of you. I've heard the talk about zombies playing football. I think that's actually really possible. Come to think of it, I thought I went to school with a lot of zombies and vampires, 20 years ago. I graduated high school 20 years ago, and I remember that night very vividly in the back of my mind. I remember back body dropping somebody into the fountain because I had no date. I remember drop kicking vampires at Halloween dances. Man, I had my heart broken more times than enough. But I think that being a vampire slayer in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires could fix that, and you guys could help me put my pieces of my broken heart back together, because I have a lot of fan support. If it wasn't for Kylie Cantrell, I would never have contemplated running for president of the United States, because her political point of view has been dragged into so many conversations. I now want to kick Donald Trump's ass in the 2028 presidential race. And you're maybe thinking to yourself, do you really think you could beat Donald Trump in the presidential race in 2028? Yeah, I could beat Donald Trump in the presidential race in 2028. And I'll tell you why I believe I could beat Donald Trump in the presidential race of 2028. Not because I could sit behind a YouTube video and record my thoughts and address the nation every night after 8 p.m. now, but because I have the support of each and every one of you. And your endless love and support that you have shown this YouTube channel, if anything, has inspired me to become a better person, to do better for other people. You know, I think that Ruby Rose Turner is the most beautiful soul in the entire world. I've always believed that Ruby has deserved better out of life than just a crush on Justin Bieber, which is going to result in him taking her to Best Buy when he finds out she doesn't have a TV, buy her the most expensive TV Best Buy has, which isn't really that expensive, probably a couple of $1,000, take it home for her and set it up for her, and then she's going to maintain that crush on Justin Bieber, have it forever, and be screwed for the rest of her life. I've wanted something better for Ruby out of life. I wanted to give Ruby something better out of life. I wanted to give the entire Descendants cast an experience that they will remember. Now being restricted to what they could say, what they couldn't say, what they could do, what they couldn't do. I've always noticed that about the Descendants cast. I've always noticed about every cast for a Disney TV series or Disney Channel original movie or movie for Disney Plus, they have never had creative freedom. I believe Zombies was the first franchise that gave them creative freedom. I would love to have access to the $158 billion of revenue Disney has. Because if I had access to the $158 billion of revenue Disney has, I would create endless amounts of opportunities for these stars to shine brighter than ever before. And that is ultimately what I've wanted to achieve and do on this YouTube channel. Upon creating this YouTube channel over a year ago and all the other podcasts that I've created over the years, especially this one, I wanted to convey a message of positivity and how anything was possible for everybody. I never wanted to take away the possibility of forever existing, happily ever after, happening for somebody, a girl finding somebody she could fall in love with eternally and forever and keep forever. Because I think those messages are never said enough. I've always believed the words I love you are never said enough. And in this Zombies movie, we're going to be hearing Zed and Addison say the words I love you for the very first time. You know, that may give away the whole synopsis of this movie and the whole script and how it will unfold, because of course Zed and Nova fall in love at one point in the movie, and then of course that's how you create your confliction and, you know, start discussing, you know, the end of the movie, how the plot will unfold. But obviously with them saying the words I love you, regardless if it happens at the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie, is a dead giveaway as to what will happen. That's why we need to get Jonathan Clarke in there as the new love interest of Addison, shake things up for Addison on her side of the spectrum, and then she falls in love with a vampire slayer who hasn't slayed a vampire since the 1990s. But thankfully, I'm a guy, the first guy to kill a vampire in over 100 years, which isn't really easy. You don't know how exhilarating life can be until you execute a missile dropkick or a pile driver on a vampire from the top of a library bookshelf. It is really, really fun. And if you ever have the opportunity to do it at a Halloween dance or a night out with your friends, do it. Because you never know who is a vampire. And by the way, if you're a vampire watching this video, I am coming to kick your ass. I have always wanted to kick the ass of a lot of vampires, and you guys have inspired me to do it. You guys have made me believe that it's actually possible that we could be living in a world full of vampires, because there are some really creepy guys out there, some really creepy people, and we got to get them before they get us. And I am always prepared. I have got this friend from Ukraine. I always go grocery shopping with him. He's taught me how to pick up the perfect head of garlic. He's taught me a lot of stuff in life, and I'm very thankful for him, especially how he taught me how to pick up the perfect head of garlic. And you don't know how hard that actually is, to get the perfect head of garlic. I'm always prepared. You know, I've always got my doors bolted shut. I've always got my windows barred up, so no zombies are getting me. If anything, I'm going to get them before they get us. I've contemplated installing an electric fence around my property. I haven't really gotten around to doing that yet. You know, some of the stuff that I've contemplated actually doing, from installing an electric fence around my property to building a Romania castle in actual Romania, hitchhiking through the woods in Transylvania. I would actually love to do this. I would actually love to experience the Zombies movie the way that these kids are experiencing it, especially after being offered the opportunity to do some underwater cave diving. I would love to do that. You know, I was always a huge fan of shark movies like Finding Nemo and Jaws and every other movie that had something to do with a shark, like The Shallows and stuff like that. And, you know, after seeing all those movies, I've been ready to shoot the bejesus out of a shark with a missile submarine for forever. So, you know, I was really creeped out by the fact they were offered underwater cave diving, but then I thought to myself, yeah, man, that would be an exhilarating experience to have the opportunity to do some underwater cave diving, blow the bejesus out of a shark. Then Hollywood would realize how fearless I was. Shark Week would be calling me. The phone would be ringing off the hook. They would want me to be, you know, in a race against a shark, you know, in a submarine. I would drive a submarine against a shark and see who would win. I would be the host of Shark Week. They would call me up. They say, Jonathan Clarke, we can't do Shark Week without you. For years they've been getting these, 90s rockers to do stuff with Shark Week, like Seal and Michael Phelps, the greatest swimmer of all time. I felt kind of disrespected, and I wanted to be a part of Shark Week, and yeah, you guys can make it happen for me. I would love to be a part of Shark Week. The first time I saw Finding Nemo, my mind was blown. I loved how you could have an aquatic turtle, tell Nemo's dad about how he's 150 years old, and then Nemo found out from his dad that turtles actually do live to be 150 years old. I love the whole idea of how a shark wanted to attend anger management, because I've had a lot of pent-up aggression, and I've always wanted to, express my anger in a lot of ways, tell counselors how I felt and stuff. So, those movies definitely inspired me to want to have something to do with sharks. I've watched every shark movie there is to have watched. I remember when Jaws was a blockbuster and thousands, if not millions of people were gravitating to that movie. I've always wanted to do something fun. And I've always wanted to inspire each and every one of you to be better people. When I was 17 years old, I lived across the road from a vampire. Nobody could tell me any different. I thought I lived across the road from a vampire, and I really believed that vampires were real because of it. Now, ever before I lived across the road from a vampire, I thought the intensibility of living across the road from a vampire was actually real. But you can never be too prepared. I would never see the guys in the daytime. I would never see the guys until the nighttime after the sunset. And they'd always be out fertilizing their lawn, or they'd be watering their plants. It was really kind of creepy. So, I never did take myself up on the opportunity to actually ask the guys if they were vampires. But, when you don't see anybody until the nighttime, that is a surefire indication, especially with people who work at hospitals and who are cops. They are definitely vampires. You can never be too prepared. You guys don't know how fun it is to actually kick the shit out of a lot of vampires until you're pulling off snapmares, vertical suplexes, and pile drivers on them, and they're coming at you from all different directions. It's a whole lot of fun. And I've just always had this interest in supernatural creatures, and I just always wanted to get back into the swing of things, and you guys can make that happen. And you can also make the possibility of me becoming president of the United States after I launch this campaign for 2028 happen, because I know that I have the support of each and every one of you, and because of each and every one of you, we can run Donald Trump's administration out of the office, and we can replace it with the Jonathan Clarke administration. Kylie Contrell can have a president she can finally be proud of, and we can get a whole lot of stuff happening here, and we can make a whole lot of magic happen. But you've got to hit the subscribe button first to support my presidential campaign. Let Donald Trump's administration know that you're tired of him and his promises for the Golden Dome and stuff. I've always wanted to give Kylie Contrell a reason to be happy. And the reason I say that is because I saw a lot of her TikTok videos where she was having to explain her political point of view in regards to Donald Trump and the Trump administration. I don't think that is necessary at all. I think Kylie Contrell deserves to live vicariously whatever way she wants to live. She doesn't deserve to be treated like shit by all of her boyfriends. And in 2024, she got out of an abusive relationship, which she was honest about. She didn't really go into detail about it, but she was honest about it, and it broke my heart. And ever since then, I've wanted to give Kylie Contrell a president or a person that she could actually be proud of, because I've said this time and time again on this podcast. I have always believed that the Descendants stars have deserved better treatment, have deserved better experiences, and people like Ruby Rose Turner have inspired me to be a better person. If not for Ruby Rose Turner, I'd probably still be a miserable person, but Ruby Rose Turner definitely allowed me to put my life into perspective and change how I looked at a lot of things. And I turned, my negativity into positivity and ways that I could better myself because of Ruby Rose Turner. If anything, Ruby's made me a better person, and I want to say thank you to Ruby for making me a better person and having a more positive outlook on life. I had a lot of friends when I was growing up, but I had this one really good friend. His name was Craig. And he was stilled in my mind that you can never spread enough kindness in this lifetime, or never make enough of a consistent effort to be a better person. And that's ultimately what I've wanted to achieve. When I recorded my final podcast in 2018 and I hung up my headset for what I had believed to have been the final time, I received a lot of phone calls from people telling me that I wasn't done. I wasn't ready to go. I thought I was ready to go, but they told me that I had a lot more to say where a lot of stuff went. And I never ever thought 25 years after an illustrious career that I've had in professional wrestling as a podcaster, as a journalist, and having studied journalism for forever, that I'd be sitting behind this podcast microphone after having invested over $4,500 into a YouTube channel, putting it behind a YouTube channel that I thought was going to go nowhere. I've always thought that every podcast I ever did, every project that I was ever a part of, no matter if I was a co-host or a host of my own show, because I had two shows that were very successful, and the majority of my career for at least 20 of the 25 years that I've been doing it, close to 30 years, I put behind this podcast microphone. I've been putting over other hosts and other shows. I never thought I was going to go anywhere, but you guys never ever quit on me, and you never ever stopped believing in me or believing in my message or believing in the show. I don't know if it was because you thought I had a really nice voice, you thought I could have been the voice of Disney, the voice of Descendants and Zombies, which you pretty much made me. And thanks to the YouTube algorithm, every video, or every second video at least I'm putting out on this YouTube channel is getting put over in a way that I never ever thought possible. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I want to say thank you to the YouTube algorithm, but more importantly, I want to put you guys over, because you could be watching anybody else's YouTube channel out there, but you're watching my videos and my crazy analogies, my crazy opinions on everything. Thank you so much for that. I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy, if you just think I'm the sweetest guy ever, but thank you so much for believing in me and never quitting on me. You know, the coolest thing ever, the coolest feeling is that you're creating content that reaches an audience that appreciates the content and appreciates you. And that's why I've always believed that the most important thing for a YouTube creator to do is to create a friendship with the people who are watching his videos and create a mutual understanding between the audience and the host of the show. And I love the feeling of how every day or night, any time of the day, of a 24-hour period, I can come on this YouTube channel, turn on this microphone, and I can shoot about anything, and each and every one of you will listen to it. Each and every one of you will continue to support me, and I can't thank you enough for that. So that's why I say that if there's somebody watching these videos who are thinking about subscribing to this YouTube channel, if you are even thinking about subscribing to this YouTube channel, I think you should. Why should you subscribe to this YouTube channel? This is my call to action to you, because the YouTube creator is supposed to have a call to action, and that's more than just having a subscribe emoji popping up on his YouTube channel for the hell of it. My call to action is for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because you're going to have a whole lot of fun here. You're going to go away from these videos, run away with the thought of being inspired, run away with the thought of spreading kindness in somebody's life who needs it, because you've got a friend out there, even though they don't admit it to it, he or she needs kindness in their life. They want kindness, and they want kindness from you. And there's no better opportunity to spread your own version of kindness than by spreading it to them now, because they need it more than what they're ever going to admit to you they need it. I think that there is never enough kindness spread in this world. I think there's never enough opportunities to say the words "I love you." And I say this because most of my life I never did hear it. I had a lot of relationships that went south, really didn't pan out for the better. I just recently lost a really good friend of mine who I told everything to, and there's stuff keeping us apart. And now a year later from now, I've got to go back and try to fix things for various reasons. I can only hope that she's going to accept me back into her life like she did earlier this year. But if she's any good, any much of a friend, she is going to do that. But I know that if it doesn't work out between us because of stuff keeping us apart, at least I have each and every one of you to fall back on for support, and I've never quit on you for that. And I want to say thank you so much for never ever quitting on me. Basically what happened is she's on YouTube all the time. She's watching these singers from Bangladesh and different parts of the world, and they've got over a couple of thousand subscribers. I think one of them has a little over 1,000 subscribers. That is nowhere near the amount of subscribers I've put up on this YouTube channel. But it's really heart-wrenching and really heartbreaking when you see that happening, because you know that you put all your time and your effort behind this podcast microphone. You talk about everything from the relationships with Dove Cameron and Thomas Doherty, Dove Cameron and Ryan McCartan, and then you've got this girl who doesn't seem to be very supportive of you at all and would rather watch somebody behind a guitar or doing something stupid like driving a bike or lifting weights, and it's kind of really, really depressing. But when I felt like I had nobody, I had each and every one of you, and I can't thank you enough for never ever quitting on me, because without you guys, I don't know where I would be. I mean every word behind when I say that Ruby Rose Turner is the most beautiful person in the entire world. That's why I was doing the Life is Sweeter When You Are video series last year, because I wanted to encourage people to believe that life is sweeter when you are, and can be more sweeter if we just spread our own version of kindness. The message behind this YouTube channel has always been to spread a message of kindness to people who need it in this world, because there are more people in this world. If 100% of people exist in this world, 75 to 80% of them need more kindness in this life, leaving the other 20% to have kindness in their life and enough kindness to share with other people. I know Descendants has a really high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes of 6.4. Zombies has 6.2. That doesn't mean the Zombies can't catch up with this fourth installment, with us having to wait a year now for Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, which is a title I really, really love because of the Kingdom Cup games coming into this, all the characters we're going to see make their introduction into Descendants, and I really don't think you can tell the story behind these new characters making their introduction into this franchise with just one installment, because you can't tell a story in 90 minutes. No matter how many people try to tell you that you can tell a story in 90 minutes, you really can't. There's always an opportunity to tell more of a story than what you've already told. I don't care how many times Dove Cameron sits behind a podcast microphone for whatever podcast may be the interviewing are saying that we've told the story and we've completed it. Yeah, Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson's characters may have told the story and completed it because of the absence of Cameron Boyce being the reason they hadn't resigned for Descendants 4 and Descendants 5, and they had to go out and get a whole new cast for a whole new spin-off for the series. But here's the thing, you can tell the story in a movie, you can tell the story in a TV series, because a TV series can have endless amounts of opportunities with season from season, episode to episode. Don't ever believe what any critic out there is telling you, because all they're telling it to you for is so they can achieve monetization and they can boost the morality of their own YouTube channel and have their own amount of confidence, which they don't need. I never ever wanted that from each and every one of you. I wanted to build a friendship with each and every one of you. I wanted to build a mutual understanding about the content that we love, the content and the passion that's brought us all together. And I like to believe that I did that. And I did that more effectively than other YouTube creator out there. No matter if you wanted to chase a white rabbit through a rabbit hole that's been closed for years, drive a side-by-side through the forest every single night as you search up Descendants and Zombies videos, no matter if you believe a zombie apocalypse can happen, which is pretty much inevitable. Don't ever believe anybody that tells you zombies aren't real and it can't happen, because it's been an ancient story that goes all the way back to the 16th century, just as the stories of Rapunzel and Sleeping Beauty go all the way back to the 15th and 16th centuries. Don't ever believe what anybody says about how they're running out of supernatural creatures. There is never an opportunity to tell another chapter, because we've had enough zombies movies, we've had enough Descendants, we've seen enough of it. They're just trying to shut out your dreams and discriminate your hopes, and I don't want to do that for each and every one of you. If anything, I want to make it possible for you to believe that everything is possible in this life. I hate when a child is told that happily ever after doesn't exist, forever doesn't exist, how they can't find a guy to keep in their life. Let me tell you something. If you find a guy and you think he's worth holding on to, then go for it and shoot for the stars, because the stars are the limit, and the stars are an endless universe of possibilities that you can trust in. Always believe that your heart is your best friend, and if there's any piece of advice that I can offer you on this podcast this morning, it is that your heart is your best friend, and that you should always listen to it. Never shy away from what your heart tries to tell you, because more times than enough I haven't listened to my heart, and I probably should have made more of a consistent effort to listen to my heart and, really practice what I preach. A lot of my friends tell me that I should practice what I preach, because I don't. But each and every one of you I know are better people. You're better people than me. I know that, for taking a chance on me, taking a chance on this YouTube channel, and believing in it. And because you believe in this YouTube channel, because you believe in its message, I want to say thank you for that, because you hit my subscribe button when you didn't have to hit my subscribe button. You believed in your favorite stars, Kylie Contrell, Ruby Rose Turner, when you didn't have to, and you did. And you made them the greatest Descendants franchise in the history of all time. Descendants is the greatest of all time, and Descendants fans are the best fans that any podcaster could ever have. It is a niche that I am very thankful for finding, and if there was one niche that I could fall into over and over again, go back and experience all over again through the power of a pocket watch, it would have to be this one, because it taught me a lot, and you guys saved me. When I thought my career was over, you guys saved me, and you brought me back from out of obscurity. It was like Batman being pulled out of the abyss. You guys pulled and pulled and pulled because you wanted a hero, and you brought this YouTube channel back. No matter if you remember me for being a pro wrestling journalist, no matter if you remember me for being a podcaster for entertainment from 1999. From 1999 to 2025, I sit behind this podcast microphone because of each and every one of you, and I will forever be thankful for each and every one of you supporting me the way that you have, because I've said a lot of stupid things on this podcast, some things more often than enough I've regretted. But even in the things that I've said that I regret it, and all the stupid things that I put over this podcast microphone, you have never ever quit on me. As I said here earlier, some of my first 150 subscribers are still here, and I can't thank you enough for that. Somebody watching this video is someone who's probably watched my very first video that was uploaded on this show, on this channel, and is still subscribed. I was looking at the subscriber count last night, and some of you subscribed back in September of 2024, and some of you are still here, and it is June of 2025 as we approach July of 2025, and we are in the summer of 2025, and the Worlds Collide Tour with 43 arenas and scheduled from all parts of life, from all parts of the United States. I know some of you have got your tickets. You're really excited about it. I've seen some of the advertisements for some of the venues that they've been throwing up on the hosts of these venues. Absolutely incredible. And I've been watching a lot of Mila Baker's posts on her official Facebook fan page where she could have more fans than what she's got. Ruby could always have more fans, and so could that of a Kylie Contrell. But I want them to know that if they're looking for someone where they can find support, and a channel where they can find support and always hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies, they can find it and they can hear it on this YouTube channel, and I wouldn't have it any other way, which is why I want to say from my heart to yours, thank you so much for opening up your heart to me, being the song in my heart for what feels like forever, I know I say I listen to the song Wind in My Hair from Tangled, the Tangled theme song, and Life is Sweeter When You Are every single morning. But thank you so much for being the heart, the light in my heart, the song in my heart that has led me out of darkness every single time. With that being said, I've got this interview featuring Ruby Rose Turner to show you this morning. Ruby's my favorite Descendants character, if you haven't already figured that out. I wish she was here. But what do you say we watch this video together as we spread our own message of kindness? If you have not hit my subscribe button, you're going to want to do that as we watch this Ruby Rose Turner video together right now.
Finish the Disney lyrics, Disney original movies and Disney Channel original movies.
We got this.
I feel like you guys will be experts. We're soaring, flying.
There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
I secretly play this game just so I can get a free concert.
Yeah,
It's so good. Like, give me this girl group album right now.
We're here. No, we were talking about it.
We were talking about
She
that.
was
All right, I'll be watching your. Perfect. I was like, you have to get this. More pressure for you. This is real. This is me.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now.
I love Ruby Rose Turner so much. There's just something about her personality that has inspired me to become a better person, and I say that because it is true. Ruby is a beautiful person who deserves nothing but the best out of life and the support and the love of each and every one of us. I think there is more love and support that we can show Ruby Rose Turner because she's always been connected with each and every one of you and been so appreciative of each and every one of you. So the more love and kindness we can show Ruby, either by following her on X, subscribing to her Facebook fan page, or just supporting her for every role or every project she's ever been involved with throughout her career. I think the more love and support we can give Ruby, the better off she's going to be, and I just want her to have the best out of life and have the best life, period, because I love her so much. I wish she was here to help me build game chairs and stuff, because my game chairs always fall apart. I want somebody to play Fortnite with, and Ruby's the perfect person to do it. Beautiful, beautiful cast, beautiful, beautiful people, and I can see why they mean so much to each and every one of you. And here's the thing. I know they mean so much to you, and that's why I love creating these videos for each and every one of you. The first thing I wanted to do when I found this house and I moved into it was create a YouTube channel that would inspire all of you either to create your own YouTube, be a part of a zombie apocalypse with Stitch on your team or Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. But I always wanted to inspire you, and I wanted to inspire you to spread your own message of kindness and your own version of it, and I like to believe that I did that. I've got a really busy day ahead of me. I've got to buy reciprocal lights to install in this room because my reciprocal lights blew up the other night, and I have to go blow the bejesus out of this room and possibly buy a Dumbo stuffy, which is going to cost me a lot of money. So at the end of the day, I will spend another $400 and put it up on this YouTube channel for you, but I don't regret doing that, and I've got to go pick up my friend from the airport. He's coming home from Indiana today, so I got to go pick him up. That's going to be fun. I'm not going to get paid for gas, but you guys are the most incredible fans in the entire world. I never stop thinking about you. I never stop thinking about how much you appreciate this YouTube channel, and without you, I don't know where I would be. You brought me back from out of obscurity. You guys wanted a hero, and you've obviously made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. Thank you for making me the song in your heart for what feels like forever. Trust in me, and I will never let you down. With that being said, what do you say we take this opportunity to go spread some kindness right now? Bye, YouTube. We will do it again tomorrow on this YouTube channel tomorrow night.